Right now on Weather Center Live, Gemini's triple threat. Possible tornadoes, heavy rain and flooding, and snow and ice. We're with you all day and night, tracking all sides of this storm. Thank you for staying with us on this special extended edition of Weather Center Live. I'm Chris Warren, and we have the chance for tornadoes and more damaging winds tonight. In fact, that threat does exist right now, and here's where the threat will be. This red shaded area from Indiana through Kentucky and Tennessee over to Arkansas, down into Mississippi and Louisiana. Tornado watches. Conditions favorable for the development of tornadoes. Let's go right now to Storm Tracker Jim Cantori and our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, with the latest on this. Hi, guys.
Yeah, Chris, and really for the first time today, we've actually seen the most tornado warnings that we've had, 5 of them, including a new one now in Kentucky, Greg Forbes.
Yeah, they go all the way from Kentucky to Louisiana with a lot of severe thunderstorm wind warnings along the way in between. So let's take a look here. Starting up in the area of Kentucky, just to the south and east of Paducah, we're talking quite a kink, a little bow echo here with a comma head in it in the line. Callaway, Marshall, and Trigg counties around the Fair Dealing, Kirksey, and Shiloh areas. Some of these moving over 75 miles per hour, so you don't have any time to seek shelter, to look around. You need to seek shelter immediately. It's in this little kink in the south end of the line here. Strong rotation right about in there. Surge forward near the Murray area. The tornado will be hiding in here, coming up just south of Fair Dealing along Highway 78, and then ultimately over toward the Cadiz area. Showing you here, it's not a full closed circulation, but it's one of these line echo wave patterns with the warm winds coming in here, the cooler winds like this. So it's trying to draw itself up and may go into a tighter circulation that really will slide then along and off very fast off to the northeast. So damaging winds and maybe some tornadoes. Then a line of thunderstorms all the way from Memphis down into Louisiana. Some tornado warnings along the way in there. Let's zoom in on a couple of those. Again, these are kinks in the line. Friars Point down to Clarksdale area. Damaging winds and possibly a tornado. Coahoma, Phillips, and Quitman counties there in Mississippi with a tornado warning. And a dogleg forward there. This is off to the north and west of Greenville, Mississippi, as well as Greenwood, Mississippi, Bolivar County, Mississippi, the Marigold, Mont Bayou areas with a possible tornado. Sliding then down to the south of Greenville, Mississippi, near that Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi juncture. East Carroll Parish in Louisiana, Issaquena area with a possible tornado. Look how this one really kinks around a dog leg. So right in about here and heading off toward the north and east would be the possible tornado in there. So circulation's within the line. A little bit of good news, it gets a little bit quieter as the line comes down from Alexandria, Lake Charles. There had been a tornado warning in one of these storms just to the south near the Glenmore area. Looks more like a spotty damaging wind gust threat now. What a night, Jim. What a night.
Yeah, very, very high water content with this. We're seeing rainfall now, Greg Forbes, over 3 inches as far north as southwest Ohio.
Yeah, indeed, and a low pressure that really wasn't existing this morning has really formed now as predicted and intensifying. It's running up in the Ohio Valley toward the Great Lakes area. It is pulling up that moisture, and it is ahead of it previously had that warm front that was over all of Arkansas, southern Missouri, southern Illinois, Indiana. It's been banging in there with tremendous amounts of heavy rain. One good thing why we're probably not getting more supercells and more of these lines of storms with damaging winds and isolated tornadoes is that the cold pocket loft is staying back in the cold air, the winter side of the storm. That said, these little line kinks can give tornadoes. I've given torcons of 6 across much of Kentucky, much of Tennessee, much of northern and western and Mississippi and northern parts of Alabama as we go even through the nighttime hours, maybe all the way up to the Columbus and Huntington, West Virginia areas. What it certainly has had a tremendous amount of is flooding and heavy rain, widespread 3 to 6 inches. Some places, Jim, you've seen.
Round Knob, Illinois is at 8.18, and that was as of an hour ago. So
yeah, and still some heavy rain falling in some of these areas, and it's working its way farther across Indiana up into Ohio. We'll have not only stream flooding but river flooding. Look at all these flash flood warnings in green, big bow echoes that are giving bursts of very heavy rain and then training one after another. Bow echo blasting right now, not quite severe across Evansville.
And Forbes, you got to think with all these trees now, they're just sitting in pools of water. They're going to be much easier to push over. A little easier to
push over. Yeah, that's certainly the case. And some of these with 75, 85 mile per hour winds aloft, you can get these spotty gusts that will do that. Northern parts of Tennessee, northwest Tennessee, Henry Weakley counties included in some of these little line segments that push sometimes those strong winds down to the ground. Memphis, you've had several rounds of severe thunderstorms come across, and more yet on the way. Another one back down around the Hughes area where we had a tornado previously. So these are all training across the area, and continuing down Catahoula, Franklin Parish in Louisiana with severe thunderstorms. The cold front marching now toward Lake Charles and across southwest parts of Louisiana. We'll continue to monitor that, but no warnings there at the moment.
No, but out ahead of it, winds still gusting 50, almost 60 miles per hour, even non-thunderstorms.
Yeah, it's a windy night. Yeah.
Incredibly windy night. Thanks, Forbes. All right, guys, again, from the severe and flooding side of this to the icy side of this, which is potentially even twice as large. We've been transitioning with some icy pictures like you see here. This is Rolla, Missouri here. Ice covering branches, roads, just about anything that's exposed. And now some of these areas across the Midwest rapidly changing on over to snowy, ice-covered acorns on the way for that guy.
Oh, it's going to be a tough year for the squirrels.
It's going to be a tough year, especially encased in ice. Now, already, it's interesting. If we look at the satellite picture, we can see this enhanced area in southern Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
2 inches an hour.
Oh, yeah. When you're a
Dodge
meteorologist,
City,
you're looking at this kind of signature, and you are concerned about heavy snow. I'm going to show it to you right now. Here is that big spin in the atmosphere we're seeing, and you see this enhancement in the moisture field right here.
Right there.
Something we refer to as the comma head on this big upper-low pressure system. I'm going to stop it for just a second here, and I'm going to outline. It's this area right in here that I'm concerned about as we go through the rest of the night and into tomorrow morning for the development of some very heavy snowfall. We look at the radar already, Jim, and you can see the spin in the atmosphere here back in the panhandle of Texas, but look at how heavy the snowfall is here. Really strong convergence. We're getting banding in here. Snowfall rates in this area probably south of Dodge City and over toward Wichita, I'm going to say probably greater than an inch an hour at this point. And as we work our way a little further north and eastward, Kansas City, you better get ready because you're going to be under the gun later tonight.
So interesting enough, Forbes says, we haven't gotten as much severe because we're seeing the upper low on the cold side, but on the other hand, we're going to get snow and a large performance of snow from the Texas Panhandle all the way up to Canada.
We certainly are, and what's happening is you're actually getting a lot of this moisture is being wrapped right back into this cold air here, and that is going to continue to move north and eastward. We take a look at a computer model at 7 p.m. tonight. It's already showing this entire area. It's doing a good job.
That's doing a good job of initiation.
It is, and it's even showing the heavier snowfall here, and watch how it moves overnight. We continue. This is through 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, midnight. Kansas City really under the gun here. You can see this feature hangs all the way back in through Kansas here.
Yeah, don't travel tonight in Kansas City.
You're not going to. And that's a very good point because look at how this moves. By tomorrow morning, this is all out of the Kansas City area and back through Oak City.
Right, so just take them for example. If it ends at 5 a.m., road crews are out, they're clearing the roads, you're on your way by 7.
Sunday morning, I think it's going to, hopefully you're going to be able to clear these off quickly, but you got to be careful because there's a lot of ice underneath there, and temperatures are not going to warm for a couple days across this area. We get into tomorrow, and it's going to first half of the day up and through southern Wisconsin, eastern Iowa in particular, just north of Chicago's where we'll see that swath of heavier snowfall. And we're looking at a large area of 5 to 8 inches in here, but there are going to be pockets in here where you could see 8 to 12 because there's so much energy with this closed low that with snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches an hour for about a 6-hour period of time, you quickly can total these up into double-digit snowfalls.
So tomorrow traveling in Milwaukee and Madison and the Quad Cities, even northern Missouri is still going to be a little hard, especially early on in the day.
Going to be a little tricky early on. If you got the luxury of just hunkering down here and spending a good part of that weekend at home, it's going to clear up for you. Beginning of the work week should be okay.
All right, stick around, guys. Next half hour, we will cover the ice threat, especially for the St. Lawrence Valley. Temperatures in the low 20s, freezing rain. Oof, just brutal. Chris, back to you.
Brutal indeed. That's why we have live all-day coverage of this weekend's triple threat. It continues after your local on the 8s. Also a look at the travel impacts, where there could be some trouble spots from Winter Storm Gemini from Oklahoma to Chicago.